The Lord commanded me to deliver this urgent message to you, right now. The devil is attempting a final, desperate deception against your life, trying to blind you to the colossal, unprecedented financial door heaven is opening. Hear me clearly. This is not just a promise. This is a prophetic warning and a divine summons. You are about to step into the greatest wealth transfer of your lifetime, an inheritance prepared before your birth, tied to a billionaire legacy that heaven itself orchestrated. The enemy knows this is your hour of freedom, the moment where generational poverty crumbles. Therefore, you must open your spirit, hear this sacred instruction, and position yourself to receive the incredible, life-altering breakthrough that starts right now. Da du dirten the divine summons, the urgent prophetic call for the hidden heir. A billionaire family was guided by God to find you. Your name is written on their will. A billionaire family was guided by God to find you. Your name is written on their will. I, the authority of all creation, speak to you this day. Listen closely, for my voice is the tremor that shakes foundations and the light that illuminates the darkest secrets. You have cried out in the silence of your struggles, convinced that your prayers vanished into the void. But I tell you, every tear was collected, every deep sigh was recorded, and now, the time for the spectacular, the undeniable, has come. This is not a casual revelation. This is a divine summons, an urgent call for the hidden heir to step out of the shadows and claim what has always belonged to them. You feel the weight of life pressing down, the constant struggle to make ends meet, the humiliation of closed doors. You look at the world's colossal wealth and believe it is reserved only for the select few, those born into privilege. But I reveal a sacred truth to you now. There is a vast, profound wealth, a spiritual and material inheritance that has been reserved for you by my hand, destined to be delivered through means you would never suspect. The billionaire family mentioned in the prophecy is not a coincidence. They are not merely names on a piece of paper. They are my instruments, chosen and guided by my invisible yet absolute power to locate the one whose soul carries the blueprint of my purpose. You have been walking through a desert, unaware that a royal carriage, sent by celestial decree, was actively seeking you. Your current financial condition is a temporary illusion, a veil the adversary placed over your eyes to keep you from recognizing your true, anointed position. Why the urgency? Because the window of opportunity is narrow. The forces of darkness have been aware of this impending transfer of wealth, this generational breakthrough, and they are mobilizing. They are attempting to inject seeds of doubt, procrastination, and fear into your spirit, hoping you will dismiss this powerful, life-changing message as mere fantasy. But I, your Creator, testify, your name, your specific identity, is woven into a testament far greater than any earthly document, the will of heaven itself. This summons demands immediate action from your spirit. You must shed the garment of poverty and scarcity that you have unknowingly worn for so long. It is a disguise that no longer suits the king's child. I am calling you to awaken the inherent nobility within you. Recognize that you are not begging for crumbs, you are being called to possess a kingdom. The enemy's master plan is to make you reject the messenger or the message. He wants you to believe that a financial miracle of this magnitude is too good, too immense for you. This is the ultimate lie he has been planning, to prevent the intersection of your need with my abundant provision. But I declare over your life right now, the coordinates have been locked. The angels have delivered the final instruction. The billionaire's legacy, appointed by heaven, is about to collide with your destiny. I know the specific burdens that have made your sleep restless, the debt that suffocates, the medical bills that terrify, the stagnant career that frustrates. I know the exact moment you felt like giving up. It was at that very moment of deepest despair that the celestial wheels began to turn faster, accelerating the delivery of this divine resource. This is my assurance to you. Your history of pain is ending, and your era of unprecedented abundance is beginning. This divine summons is not a suggestion, it is a mandate. I am commanding the forces of the universe, the spiritual banks of heaven, and the appointed human vessels to bring this wealth into your hands. This financial miracle is not just for your comfort, it is the fuel for the great mission I have planned for your life. You need the resources to be a blessing, a channel, and a testimony of my limitless power. Receive this word with absolute certainty. Let the gravity of this moment sink into your soul. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are an heir of glory. The long wait is over. The time for the hidden to be revealed, for the poor to be enriched, for the forgotten to be celebrated, is now. Prepare your heart, for the spiritual search is complete, and the final steps of your destiny are about to be realized. The next chapter will reveal the supernatural mechanism that tracked you down across the earth. The enemy is trembling because he knows that once this inheritance is activated, you will be unstoppable. Reject his whispers, embrace my powerful truth, and let your spirit proclaim the word of faith. Write Amen if you receive this word and accept this divine summons to your inheritance. The Celestial Search, how angels guided the billionaire family's steps to your door. A billionaire family is looking for you. You are the heir to this house. See the photo of the angels who led them. I am the Lord, and I reveal the workings of the unseen realm to those I choose to elevate. In the previous hour, I summoned you, the hidden heir, but now I must expose the process, the spiritual espionage, and the divine navigation that brought this massive financial breakthrough right to your present location. Understand this deeply. No human effort, no stock market savvy, no legal loophole brought this inheritance to you. It was a celestial search, a focused, unwavering mission executed by my most powerful messengers. The adversary whispers that wealth is arbitrary, a matter of luck or birthright. This is a lie designed to keep you powerless. The truth is that billionaire family, the very ones whose fortune is destined to transform your life and your generation, were not acting on their own will. They were under angelic command. Picture this. For years, they struggled with a restless, unfulfilled spirit, a profound void that material abundance could never fill. They tried philanthropy, investments, and luxury. Yet the nagging sense of an unfinished task persisted. This was not mere spiritual discomfort. It was the persistent voice of the archangels, specifically appointed to stir their spirit and direct their gaze toward a specific anointed soul, yours. These angels, the watchers of the covenant, were given a detailed spiritual map. This map contained the coordinates of your destiny, the exact moment of your readiness, and the specific signs that would confirm your identity to the billionaire family. This is why you may have recently felt a peculiar energy shift, a sudden intense desire for change, or inexplicable dreams about faraway places and unfamiliar faces. These were the subtle vibrations of the celestial search party closing in. The angels did 3 things to guide them to your door, and I want you to register these signs. 1. The dream revelation. The head of that family received recurring, vivid dreams, where your face, your present circumstances, and even specific details about your current need were displayed. This was a supernatural photograph, a divine ID, forcing them to move beyond earthly documents and rely on spiritual confirmation. 2. The impulse of unrest. They were given a powerful, irresistible spiritual urge to break from their routine and embark on an unconventional journey. Every time they tried to focus on other business matters, my hand brought an interference, a canceled meeting, a financial delay, until they aligned their focus with their true, divinely appointed purpose, finding you. 3. The confirmation of prophecy. I sent prophets and spiritual advisors into their lives who, without knowing the details, spoke words that resonated with the dreams, words concerning a hidden heir who was destined to ignite a spiritual fire through financial freedom. The enemy, recognizing this intense divine operation, tried to sabotage the search. He introduced distraction, false leads, complex legal obstacles, sudden health crises for the billionaire family, attempting to delay the signing of the final document. But I declare to you now, the angelic forces prevailed. They shielded the will, protected the appointed messengers, and ensured the path to you remained clear, a highway paved with divine intention. The reason I allowed you to see the photo in the hook is symbolic. The spiritual image of your destiny is now clearer than the physical reality of your struggle. The angels have presented your case, your need, and your purpose before the instruments of your blessing. Your greatest breakthrough is coming through a supernatural alignment. You are not waiting for a break. You are waiting for a collision between heaven's mandate and earth's reality. The wealth transfer is a physical manifestation of a spiritual covenant that has been activated. Therefore, do not allow doubt to creep in. Every closed door of the past was simply a misdirection, keeping you focused on earthly solution. This is a heavenly solution arriving through an earthly vessel. The celestial search is over. You have been found. Prepare your spirit to receive the material proof that the invisible realm governs the visible. Write "Found by grace" in the comments. If you know the angels have finished their search and your financial miracle is already on its way. The hidden covenant. Your name was written in heaven. Before the earth's foundation, your name was written in gold in the celestial. This is the covenant that secures your billionaire inheritance. Listen to my voice, for I am about to tear away the veil and show you the sacred documentation of your destiny. You believe this sudden financial miracle, this billionaire's legacy, is a recent development, a benevolent stroke of luck. I declare to you that this wealth transfer is not a coincidence. It is the manifestation of a hidden covenant sealed in eternity, signed before the first mountain was raised and the first star was hung in the heavens. You are not merely receiving a gift. You are claiming a legal right established by my eternal will. When I speak of a hidden covenant, I speak of the moment I selected you, not just for salvation, but for dominion and abundance. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, your name was engraved in the book of life, and next to it, the clause of your financial destiny was permanently affixed. This clause dictates that in this specific season, at this specific hour of your greatest need, a massive, unblockable transfer of resources must be executed in your favor. The enemy has spent your entire life trying to convince you that you are illegitimate, forgotten, or unworthy of profound blessings. He has manipulated circumstances to keep you small, struggling, and focused on survival, not inheritance. His ultimate goal was to make you doubt your celestial lineage, the very bloodline of destiny that qualifies you for this magnitude of wealth. I reveal this truth to empower you. The billionaire's earthly will is merely a physical echo of a far more potent spiritual document, the testament of the king. The earthly document can be challenged, delayed, or contested, but the testament of the king, where your name is written, is irrevocable. This covenant guarantees two things, and you must decree them with your faith. 1. Irreversible release. This inheritance is not temporary. It is designed to establish generational wealth, pulling your children and grandchildren out of the cycle of lack. The funds are earmarked for your spiritual purpose and cannot be depleted by the forces of darkness. 2. Immediate access. The time for waiting for someday is over. Because the covenant is activated, the mechanism for delivery, the billionaire family, has been guided. You must simply align your faith to receive the tangible evidence. Your faith is the key to unlocking the seals of this ancient covenant. Every moment you spend doubting, you are inadvertently giving credence to the enemy's false claims against your divine contract. But when you decree, "My name is written in heaven," you activate the armies of angels assigned to enforce my will and deliver the goods. Look back at your life. Haven't you survived battles that should have annihilated you? Haven't doors opened for you when logically they should have remained shut? Those were the early enforcements of this hidden covenant, subtle proofs that a greater, unseen hand was protecting your claim until the appointed time of revelation. I have placed this revelation in your spirit to eradicate the spirit of financial fear forever. You are not a pauper hoping for charity. You are a covenant heir demanding the delivery of your mandated inheritance. This is the truth that will dismantle the enemy's most potent lie. This financial miracle is designed to prove to you and to the world that my promises are not symbolic. They are literal, tangible, and exceedingly abundant. Your testimony is about to become a monument to the faithfulness of a God who remembers the contracts He signed in eternity. Take this moment to stand in your authority. Proclaim this truth over your finances, your career, and your family. The celestial ledger has been opened, and the divine accountant has released the funds. Write, "I am the heir," and the number 888 in the comments right now to seal this covenant of prosperity over your life. The enemy's counterattack, the spiritual forces trying to block your inheritance. The devil is planning a final, vicious attack this week to steal your billionaire blessing. God wants you to know His plot. I, the messenger of truth, must now deliver a prophetic warning, a vital intelligence report from the spiritual battlefield. The transfer of such monumental wealth, the activation of your hidden covenant, does not go unnoticed in the lower realms. The Prince of Darkness is in a frenzy. He has recognized the divine summons, he knows the celestial search has concluded, and he is aware that your name is signed in the Book of Prosperity. His immediate, desperate response is the enemy's counterattack. Understand that every delay, every sudden confusion, every unexpected expense, and every seed of self-doubt you have experienced recently is not random. They are calculated, strategic spiritual forces deployed to create a blockade, a financial and emotional firewall to prevent the manifestation of the billionaire's legacy in your physical realm. The adversary's immediate plan involves 3 specific tactics designed to block your inheritance. 1. The spirit of legal entanglement. The enemy is attempting to stir up confusion in paperwork, delays in financial institutions, and unexpected legal disputes, even minor ones, to frustrate and drain your energy, hoping you will become weary and abandon your claim. He is whispering lies that the inheritance is complicated, a curse, or not worth the fight. I decree that every fraudulent legal spirit is now broken and annulled by the blood of the covenant. 2. The spirit of the thief. Immediate losses. To convince you the blessing is not real, the enemy will orchestrate small, irritating, but financially significant losses. A car breakdown, a sudden repair bill, an unexpected fee. His intent is to deplete your current resources and make you focus on the lack of this week, rather than the abundance of your destiny. He wants you to spend your faith on repairs instead of receiving the kingdom wealth. 3. The attack of betrayal and doubt. This is his most insidious weapon. He will use voices of close relationship, friends, family, or partners, to plant seeds of skepticism. Someone close to you may suddenly tell you this prophecy is foolish, that you are being naive, or that you should focus on reality. This is the voice of the enemy's agent, attempting to detach your spirit from the anchor of faith, just as the ship of abundance is docking. I am revealing this plot to you not to instill fear, but to give you spiritual authority. You cannot fight an invisible enemy with visible weapons. Your defense is awareness and prophetic decree. When you know the source of the attack, you strip it of its power. You must stand firm in the knowledge of the hidden covenant. When the delay comes, do not panic. When the bill arrives, do not despair. Look at the difficulty and declare, "This is the enemy's last attempt. He knows I am close to the breakthrough." This counterattack is, paradoxically, the greatest confirmation that your miracle is imminent. Darkness fights hardest just before the light fully breaks through. The intensity of the opposition measures the magnitude of the blessing awaiting you. Your job now is to fortify your spirit. Stop consuming material that feeds fear and doubt. Surround yourself with voices of faith. Declare loudly that the inheritance is yours, that the billionaire's will is being protected by archangels, and that no spiritual or human force can override my decree. The enemy is planning to distract you with a small crisis so you miss the massive generational breakthrough. Do not fall for the trap. Keep your eyes fixed on the heavenly testament. Your financial liberation is too grand, too decisive for the enemy to let it go uncontested. But I guarantee you, the battle is already won. Write, "I am protected," and share this video immediately to send a spiritual shockwave against the enemy's plan. The unveiling of the divine will, the clauses of the testament that guarantee your financial miracle. The mystery is over. The divine will is open. These three clauses guarantee your immediate and unblockable financial miracle. I am the great executor of covenants, and I now bring the official, authorized revelation of your destiny. You have understood the summons, the search, and the spiritual battle. Now, you must grasp the specific, ironclad details of the wealth transfer. This is the unveiling of the divine will, the spiritual document that overshadows the earthly testament of the billionaire family, ensuring the immediate delivery of your financial miracle. The enemy wants you to think the inheritance is vague, a spiritual metaphor. I declare it is literal, tangible, and defined. This testament is bound by celestial law, making your blessing impervious to market fluctuations, legal challenges, or demonic interference. The divine will contains three non-negotiable clauses that directly guarantee your financial freedom and eternal prosperity. Clause 1. The annulment of generational debt and poverty. The first command of this will is a prophetic decree of debt cancellation. I have seen the historical burdens, the cycles of poverty, the chronic lack, the financial struggles passed down through your bloodline. The enemy used these generational chains to keep you enslaved. This clause mandates the immediate, total, and irreversible annihilation of every single debt and financial curse currently affixed to your name and your family tree. The billionaire's resources are being channeled, first and foremost, to wipe the slate clean, to zero out the negative balance, and to establish you on firm ground. This is not a partial payment. It is a total redemption. Your inheritance begins with absolute financial liberty. Clause 2. The fund for exceeding abundance. The second clause moves beyond liberation to exceeding abundance. This is the core of the financial miracle. It stipulates that the wealth transferred to you must not merely cover your needs, but must place you in a position of overwhelming capacity. This is the investment fund, the seed money, the colossal financial boost that enables you to step into the purpose I designed. This abundance is not for hoarding. It is to transform you into a distribution hub for my kingdom. The inheritance is so vast that it simultaneously meets your personal desires, funds your highest vision, and gives you resources to finance the dreams of others. This clause secures not just comfort, but global influence. Clause 3. The mandate of spiritual protection. The final and most crucial clause guarantees the longevity and integrity of this wealth. It states that a specific legion of protection angels is assigned to guard this inheritance from spiritual theft, foolish management, and corrupt influence. This means the money you receive will not be wasted, stolen, or lost through unwise decision. The angels will whisper wisdom, provide timely warnings, and create supernatural barriers against any person or force attempting to misuse or diminish this divine provision. This blessing is secure, hedged by the power of the highest authority. The billionaire family's legal documents are merely the physical conduit. The true power lies in these three clauses, which are being enforced right now by the very angels who conducted the search for you. When you feel the weight of the old life, the anxiety, the worry, the focus on lack, you must look up and declare, "The divine will has been opened. My name is on the annulment clause, the abundance clause, and the protection clause." This is why the enemy counterattacked in the last chapter. He saw the final decree being prepared. He saw the transfer initiation, but his efforts are futile. My word is final. My will is absolute. Prepare to witness the tangible evidence of these clauses manifesting in your bank account, your mailbox, and your daily opportunities. The spiritual guarantee precedes the physical delivery. Act in faith, for the final colossal miracle is at your door. Write, clause accepted, and claim the total annulment of debt and the arrival of your exceeding abundance right now. The signature of fire, the spiritual proof that confirms you are the chosen one. Stop everything. You need the spiritual proof. God is sending a signature of fire within 24 hours to confirm you are the chosen heir. I, the faithful witness, now offer the crucial evidence required for your spirit to completely rest in this promise. Doubt is the quicksand of faith, and the enemy uses it to erode your confidence in the divine will. You have heard the summons, the search, and the clauses, but you cry out, "How do I know it's me? How do I confirm I am the chosen one, destined for this billionaire's legacy?" I declare that I do not leave my heirs without confirmation. Before the physical manifestation of the wealth, you will receive a signature of fire, an undeniable spiritual proof that confirms your identity as the legitimate recipient of this massive blessing. This is a sign unique to you, a sovereign mark placed upon your spirit that seals the covenant and silences all doubt. The signature of fire is not a subtle feeling. It is an intense, supernatural confirmation that manifests in one of three ways, and you must be awake and vigilant to recognize it. The mark of unshakable peace. You will suddenly experience a profound, unshakable peace concerning your finances, completely disproportionate to your current reality. Despite the bills on the table, despite the zero balance in your account, a spiritual peace, like an anchor dropped into the calm sea, will fill your soul. This peace is the Holy Spirit confirming the transaction is complete in the celestial realm. It is the assurance that the debt is canceled and the wealth is secured. The anxiety that has plagued your sleep will vanish, replaced by a quiet, deep certainty. That is the signature of fire on your emotion. The word of immediate knowledge, the confirmation. Within the next 24 to 48 hours, I will send a direct, unmistakable word through an unconventional source. It might be a random phrase from a stranger, a line in a book you open at random, a verse from a hymn, or a single sentence from an unexpected phone call. This word will directly address your most pressing financial concern, or confirm a secret dream you hold in your heart regarding the inheritance. It will be so specific, so timely, that only I could have orchestrated it. This is the confirmation that your inheritance papers are signed in heaven. The sudden release of creative fire. You will feel a sudden, explosive rush of creative energy and solution-based thinking regarding your purpose. For months, you might have felt mentally blocked, stagnant, and unsure of your next professional step. When the signature of fire touches your mind, you will receive an instantaneous download of brilliant ideas, clarity on complex business strategies, or the immediate solution to a long-standing financial problem. This surge of wisdom is the spiritual anointing to manage and multiply the coming wealth. It is my proof that you are ready, spiritually and mentally, to govern this great resource. The enemy fights the hardest for your mind. He wants you to rationalize away these signs, to dismiss the peace as just a good mood, or the word as coincidence. I warn you, do not grieve the spirit of revelation. Embrace the certainty, for this signature of fire is the personal sign I am sending to you, the chosen heir. This sign is the spiritual proof that activates your movement. Once you receive the peace, the word, or the fire, you must act, not with fear, but with the audacious faith of one who knows the billionaire's vast fortune is already en route. Your testimony is not just about the money, it is about the sovereignty of the God who personally signed your destiny with fire. Write, fire signed, and testify that you are ready to receive the tangible confirmation of your spiritual status as an heir. The 7 seals of prosperity. The keys to activating the billionaire's financial flow in your life. Unlock the gates of wealth. God reveals the 7 sacred keys, the 7 seals of prosperity. You must break to activate the billionaire's financial flow. I, the giver of abundance, understand that possession requires activation. It is not enough to be named the heir. You must actively engage the spiritual mechanisms that release the enormous flow of the billionaire's legacy into your daily experience. I now reveal to you the 7 seals of prosperity, 7 spiritual keys that must be turned in your heart and action to break open the dams of heaven and establish permanent financial authority. These seals counteract the 7 spirits of lack and entitlement the enemy uses to keep my children impoverished. Break these seals now and witness the immediate acceleration of your inheritance. Seal 1. The seal of radical generosity, breaking the spirit of scarcity. The first key is radical generosity. You must immediately release the spirit of hoarding. Give, even from your current state of perceived lack, with a cheerful heart, expecting nothing in return. This act of giving is a prophetic statement to the universe and to the enemy. I trust in a source that is greater than my need. When you give radically, you break the power of scarcity over your future income, proving you are worthy to manage great wealth. Seal 2. The seal of focused vision, breaking the spirit of distraction. The second key is focused vision. You must define why you need this billionaire's wealth. Write down the mission, the ministry, the businesses, and the lives you plan to impact. A blurry vision always attracts a tiny provision. By focusing your intent, you create a powerful spiritual vacuum that the inheritance must rush in to fill. Seal 3. The seal of spiritual discipline, breaking the spirit of waste. The third key is spiritual discipline. The greatest test of wealth is not poverty, but management. You must now implement a discipline of saving, investing, and honoring the resources you currently have, no matter how small. I cannot trust you with the vast wealth of the billionaire if you mismanage the pennies. Discipline is the spiritual container that holds the blessing. Seal 4. The seal of prophetic declaration, breaking the spirit of negative talk. The fourth key is prophetic declaration. Stop speaking the language of your current debt. Silence every complaint, every word of limitation, and every phrase that contradicts the divine will. Replace it with bold daily declarations. I am the heir. Debt is canceled. My hands manage billions. Your words are the architects of your reality. Seal 5. The seal of honoring authority, breaking the spirit of rebellion. The fifth key is honoring authority. Recognize and honor the spiritual and earthly authorities I have placed in your life, even if imperfect. The flow of blessing often travels through channels of alignment and respect. Rebellion blocks prosperity. Alignment attracts it. Seal 6. The seal of consistent diligence, breaking the spirit of procrastination. The sixth key is consistent diligence. You must operate in your current work, ministry, or business as if the billionaire's money has already arrived. The spiritual world rewards consistency, not sporadic effort. Work faithfully in the small things, and the great wealth will be granted to your diligence. Seal 7. The seal of radical faith, breaking the spirit of logic. The final key is radical faith. This seal demands you believe the impossible over the evidence of your senses. Stop trying to figure out how the billionaire will find you. Your job is to believe that I will do it. Faith is the currency of heaven. By activating radical faith, you give me, the God of the universe, full permission to execute the miracle through supernatural means. As you break these 7 seals, you are not just waiting for the money, you are preparing the environment for its arrival. The wealth is ready, but your vessel must be expanded to receive and sustain it. Execute these keys, and the door to your generational prosperity will swing open. Write "seals broken" in the comments, and commit to unlocking these 7 keys today to activate the billionaire's flow. A heavenly watchman warns you, the inheritance brings treachery. An angelic message reveals who will betray you before the money arrives. I am the Lord, who sees in secret and warns in love. My heart aches for the pain my children suffer when trust is shattered, especially at the moment of their greatest triumph. I have delivered the summons, secured the inheritance, and revealed the seals. But now, I must speak to your heart with tenderness and urgency. The arrival of the billionaire's blessing will test the loyalty of those closest to you. A specialized troop of angels, the watchmen of the covenant, has been positioned around you. They are not guarding the money yet. They are guarding your heart and your counsel. They have intercepted plans of betrayal, strategies devised by souls who are currently smiling in your face, but whose hearts are polluted with envy and the spirit of greed. Listen to this angelic message. The person who will attempt to derail, sabotage, or steal from your inheritance will likely be someone you love and trust deeply. This betrayal will manifest in a way that attempts to block the transfer before it becomes fully realized, or to immediately compromise the funds after they arrive. The two faces of betrayal you must discern. 1. The saboteur of doubt. This person is currently close to you, witnessing your struggles. When you begin to speak of faith, of the billionaire's prophecy, or the massive change, they will attack your spirit. They will use sophisticated arguments. Be realistic. It's a scam. Don't get your hopes up. Their goal is to make you doubt the divine will, chapter 5, and to prevent you from breaking the seals of prosperity, chapter 7. Their betrayal is subtle. They sabotage your faith to sabotage your fortune. Their motive is fear. They fear losing their familiar version of you, the struggling, dependent one. 2. The thief of entitlement. Once the money is physically in your hands, this person will emerge with a history of past favors, intense emotional needs, or manufactured crises. They will claim entitlement to the funds, arguing you owe them, or that their need is greater than yours. They will demand large, immediate sums, appealing to your generous nature. Their motive is greed. They see you not as a loved one, but as an ATM machine, a means to an end. My beloved child, I am exposing this now to protect your peace and your inheritance. This is not a time to become cold, but a time to become wise and discerning. The watchmen of the covenant urge you to create immediate distance, emotional and conversational, from any voice that consistently mocks your faith, discourages your dreams, or constantly focuses on your current lack rather than your coming abundance. You must protect the spiritual atmosphere around you like a sacred treasury. The spiritual protocol of protection. Guard your prophecy. Do not share the details of this specific inheritance, the billionaire, the specific amounts, the timing, with anyone who has not proven their loyalty through years of genuine, unwavering support. The prophecy is vulnerable in the mouths of the cynical. Discern the spirit. Before making any large financial commitment to anyone, step away and ask me for the spirit of discernment. Does this request align with the secret legacy I am giving you, to be revealed in chapter 11? Or does it feed a spirit of dependency? Establish boundaries of love. You are being called to be a blessing, but a blessing with wisdom. Boundaries are not walls of rejection. They are fences of protection. Learn to say a kind, firm no when your spirit gives a warning. This is a deep lesson I must give you. True abundance requires wisdom about people. I am giving you the resources to bless millions, and to do so, you cannot be compromised by the manipulation of a few. Take this warning to heart. Let the words of the watchman angels fill you with sober wisdom and strong resolve. Your great fortune is too precious to be lost to small-minded treachery. I am your ultimate defender. Trust my warning and walk into your inheritance secure and whole. Write Watchman Heard and commit to guarding your heart and your prophecy from every treacherous voice around you. Stop right here. Before the final transfer, God requires one thing, the secret of the altar of sacrifice that unlocks the full power of your billionaire blessing. I am the Lord, who gives and who requires. You have been led to the brink of the greatest financial breakthrough of your life. The billionaire's vast fortune is ready to be released. Yet, many heirs stand at the threshold and cannot cross, not because of the enemy, but because they misunderstand the final, critical requirement, the altar of sacrifice. Do not misunderstand this word. I do not need your money. The universe is mine, and the cattle on 1,000 hills are my property. What I require is a spiritual transaction that proves the condition of your heart and guarantees that the colossal wealth you are about to receive will be a blessing, not a curse. The altar of sacrifice is not about the size of your offering. It is about the sovereignty of your surrender. It is the final act of breaking the spirit of mammon, the god of materialism, which tries to attach itself to all great wealth. The true sacrifice, the surrender of the idol of control. The primary thing I require from you on this altar is the idol of control. For years, you have lived in fear, believing that your survival depended entirely on your struggle, your exhausting effort, and your meticulous, often frantic control over every penny and every possibility. This fear is a prison. When you receive the billionaire's wealth, you must have the capacity to manage it wisely, but you must never believe that the money itself is your source or your security. Your prosperity must be anchored in the knowledge that I am your source. The altar of sacrifice requires you to symbolically lay down your most prized, financially tied object, idea, or fear. Sacrifice of the prized possession. Perhaps there is one item you hold on to out of fear, an unnecessary asset, a luxury item, or a small saving you refuse to touch. By placing it on the altar, even by deciding to give it away or invest it purely on faith, you declare, "This object does not define my security." Sacrifice of the scarce mindset. This is the most painful sacrifice. You must consciously and continuously surrender the mentality of scarcity. Every time worry surfaces, you must sacrifice that fear by speaking a word of faith and giving thanks for the inheritance that is already yours. Sacrifice of the future plan. Before the wealth arrives, I want you to make a tangible, radical commitment, a prophetic promise of how you will use a significant portion of this immense wealth to impact the lives of others, without asking for anything in return. This surrender of your future resources for my purposes ensures that the wealth will flow through you, not stop with you. When Abraham offered Isaac, his greatest promise, on the altar, I stopped the act because I had tested his sovereign love and his absolute trust. The altar is a test of trust. Do you trust me with the management and the magnitude of this immense blessing? This act of sacrifice, this profound surrender of control, is the spiritual signal that fully releases the inheritance. It tells the celestial banks, the heir is ready. The spirit of mammon has been evicted. The vessel is pure for the king's use. The billionaire's legacy will not be fully released until this altar is erected in your heart, proving that the money will serve my kingdom purposes and not become a new, powerful source of idolatry in your life. Do this now, in your spirit, and watch how the pace of the manifestation accelerates instantly. Write "idol broken" in the comments if you surrender the idol of control and commit your future billionaire wealth to the service of the king. The great change, the moment your family will witness the total transformation. The shame is over. The great change is here. Your family will witness a total, undeniable transformation that will silence every skeptic and honor your faith. I, the restorer of all things, speak this truth into the very core of your identity. The purpose of the billionaire's blessing extends far beyond your personal comfort. It is designed, orchestrated, and timed to execute a total transformation, a radical, visible shift that will shatter every stereotype placed upon your family and silence the voices of every critic. The great change is upon you, and your loved ones are about to witness the undeniable proof of my faithfulness. You have carried the burden of your family's struggles for too long. You have felt the silent weight of their judgment, the skepticism in their eyes when you spoke of faith, and the deep pain of not being able to provide the stability and joy they deserve. The enemy used your financial lack as a weapon to make you feel like a failure, not just to yourself, but to those you cherish most. I declare that this era is ending. The divine will, chapter 5, is being executed to bring about a public, resounding testimony that establishes your spiritual authority and your financial freedom in the eyes of your entire lineage. The three phases of the family transformation. 1. The shift from scarcity to security. The first change your family will witness is the immediate removal of chronic stress, the suffocating atmosphere of financial worry, the arguments, the whispered concerns over bills, the fear of eviction will dissolve. This billionaire inheritance will bring such profound security that the very emotional climate of your home will change. They will see peace where there was panic and hope where there was despair. This is the initial, undeniable sign that a divine transaction has occurred. 2. The restoration of dignity and honor. The inheritance will grant you the capacity to do the impossible things you dreamed of: pay off a parent's mortgage, fund a sibling's education, or restore a broken family business. These acts of generous, unprompted giving will restore your position as a source of blessing, reversing years of shame and struggle. The critics who once mocked your faith will now look on in stunned silence, forced to acknowledge that the God you serve is real, tangible, and exceedingly rich. 3. The generational alignment. This is the greatest miracle. Your financial transformation will become the spiritual catalyst for others in your family. Seeing your breakthrough will break the cycle of fear and religious pretense, inspiring others to seek me for their own lives. You are not just receiving money, you are receiving the power to initiate a generational shift, from debt to destiny, from lack to legacy. I know your heart. You want this blessing not for the yachts and mansions, but for the freedom to love and provide without the constraint of limitation. That deep, pure desire is why the billionaire's legacy is coming to you. You pass the test of intention. Prepare your spirit to be humble, yet unapologetically firm when this change manifests. You are about to become the proof, the living, breathing testament that faith in the unseen God yields visible, spectacular results. The great change is not just an upgrade to your lifestyle, it is an upgrade to your family's history. The shame is canceled, and the honor of the kingdom is being placed upon your house. Write "Family Transformed" and share this message immediately with 3 people you are praying to see experience a similar breakthrough. Be a channel of this prophetic fire. The secret legacy, the spiritual and financial mission behind the billionaire's fortune. Hook. The billionaire's money is not just for you. God reveals the secret legacy, the global mission you are called to fund with this unprecedented fortune. I am the great strategist, and I operate with purpose and precision. When I select an heir for a fortune of this magnitude, the billionaire's legacy, it is never merely an end in itself. Financial blessing is a tool, a resource, and a responsibility tied to a higher calling. I must now reveal to you the secret legacy, the profound spiritual and financial mission that is the true intention behind this wealth transfer. The enemy's greatest lie about prosperity is that it is selfish, isolating, and purely material. I expose this lie now. This wealth is consecrated for a mission that will extend your influence far beyond your immediate surrounding and touch the forgotten corners of the earth. The billionaire family who was guided by my angels, chapter 2, did not accumulate this wealth randomly, though they may not have fully understood it. Their lives were spent building a financial reservoir that was destined to be released into the hands of a faithful steward. You, at this exact juncture of history. You are the chosen administrator of this vast, consecrated resource. Your sacred mandate, the 3 pillars of the secret legacy. The secret legacy I am handing you is supported by 3 pillars of purpose, and you must dedicate a portion of your new fortune to their fulfillment. 1. Funding the global harvest, the prophetic mission. A portion of this wealth must be consecrated to financing the final great spiritual harvest. This means supporting missionaries, funding mass communication of my word, and building strategic platforms that deliver the message of hope to the unreached. Your money will become a spiritual artillery, dismantling strongholds and accelerating the spread of the gospel in regions currently closed to my influence. 2. Eradicating economic slavery, the humanitarian mission. You are commissioned to break the chains of economic slavery that bind many of my children. This goes beyond simple charity. It means funding sustainable job creation, establishing educational and vocational centers in impoverished communities, and providing startup capital for those who have talent but lack resources. You will use the billionaire's money to create economic freedom centers, places where generational poverty dies and dignity is resurrected. 3. The altar of perpetual generosity, the heart mission. The legacy demands the establishment of a permanent, self-sustaining fund dedicated purely to acts of unprompted radical kindness, paying medical bills for strangers, anonymously covering debt, or restoring homes after disasters. This ensures that the heart of radical generosity, Seal 1, Chapter 7, remains the driving force of your life, proving that the money did not corrupt your soul, but magnified your compassion. This mandate is why the inheritance is so vast. The resources required for these global initiatives cannot be met by modest means. You are being equipped to operate on a planetary scale. Do not be intimidated by the magnitude of this mission. The prophetic protection clause in the Divine Will, Chapter 5, specifically assigns angels to guard the wisdom required to manage these global initiatives. You will not lack the insight, the connections, or the favor required to execute this mission flawlessly. The moment you align your heart with this secret legacy, the moment you declare, "This money is for your kingdom, Lord," you activate a deeper level of blessing and protection over the entire inheritance. You move from being a recipient to being a partner in my purpose. Embrace this calling. Your financial breakthrough is not just a personal victory. It is the launching platform for a global spiritual revolution. Walk in the authority of the heir who understands the mission behind the million. Write "Mission Accepted" and claim the wisdom required to govern the secret legacy of the billionaire's fortune. Expect a dream tonight. God is sending you a prophetic blueprint, the exact map and photo of the promised house, to show you the tangible path to your new wealth. I am the revealer of mystery, and I use the silence of your sleep to transmit sacred intelligence. You have embraced the spiritual truth of the inheritance, but now, my child, you need tangible physical confirmation to anchor your faith and guide your first steps. I declare that I am about to send you the dream and the map, a specific, undeniable vision that will serve as the final, personal confirmation of your billionaire's legacy. The adversary seeks to keep you disoriented, making you believe the inheritance is some faraway, abstract concept. I reject that confusion. Your blessing is real, it is localized, and it has a physical address. This prophetic vision will manifest in one of 2 forms, and you must prepare your spirit to record the details. 1. The dream of the promised house. You will be transported in the spirit to a place of unparalleled beauty and security. The promised house linked to this billionaire's legacy. This house is not just a dwelling, it is the spiritual and physical representation of your authority and security. In this dream, you will not be a visitor, you will be the owner. Look for the specific details I will highlight. The mark of fire. Look for a unique architectural feature, a symbol, a pattern, or a specific tree that I will mark with a spiritual glow or fire. This is the confirmation that the house you see is the actual physical property that is part of the inheritance. The unfamiliar face. You may see the face of the final messenger, the lawyer, the executor, or the key member of the billionaire family who will present the documents to you. This detail is crucial for discernment. Chapter 8. When the person arrives in your waking life. The clear address, or landmark. You may not see the exact street number, but I will give you an undeniable geographical anchor. A significant landmark? A unique street name? Or a number sequence that holds deep personal meaning for you. This is your prophetic map. 2. The day vision of the financial path. If the dream does not come in the night, the revelation will break through in a sudden, intense day vision. While you are engaged in a mundane task, driving, washing dishes, or simply resting, an unexpected, fully formed thought will drop into your spirit. This thought will be the exact, practical solution that removes the last visible obstacle to the inheritance transfer. It could be the name of the lawyer you need to contact, a specific document you need to locate, or a precise financial strategy you need to execute. This vision will be so clear, so profound, and so unlike your normal thinking that you cannot possibly attribute it to chance. It is the divine blueprint for your immediate action. Why this physical detail? Because faith without works is dead. I am giving you the map so you can take the first physical steps of the heir. You are not waiting passively. You are engaging actively with the prophetic information I deliver. You must be ready. Get a pen and paper. Ask me tonight to give you the dream and the map. This act of preparation is an act of faith, showing me that you treat my word as the sacred, practical instruction it is. This is the moment the abstract promise becomes physical reality. The promised house is waiting, and I am sending you the keys. Write "map received" in the comments if you are ready to receive the exact prophetic blueprint for your billionaire's inheritance tonight. Your financial curse is terminated. Use this prophetic sentence now to annul every lie, every debt, and every spiritual barrier blocking your billionaire fortune. I, the Word made flesh, declare that the time for polite requests and timid prayers is over. The magnitude of the billionaire's blessing demands a prophetic decree, a definitive, authoritative sentence spoken by you, the rightful heir, that cuts off every lingering spiritual contract of poverty and annuls every financial curse that has attempted to derail your destiny. The enemy's counterattack, Chapter 4, is built on old, expired curses, words spoken against your family, agreements made in ignorance, and cycles of lack inherited through the bloodline. These curses act as invisible dams, preventing the vast reservoir of the inheritance from reaching your physical life. This decree is the spiritual sword that breaks the chain. It is the final legal action in the court of heaven, confirming the clauses of the divine will, Chapter 5, and releasing the abundant. The annulment, the power of the spoken word. I command you to internalize and speak this sentence, not as a suggestion, but as an absolute, non-negotiable legal verdict. I state your name, the chosen heir of the celestial covenant, now decree and declare the total, immediate, and irreversible annulment of every financial curse, every spirit of debt, and every poverty mentality operating in my life and lineage by the power of the divine will. The authority of lack is terminated, and the transfer of the billionaire's wealth is hereby released into my physical possession now. This decree is potent because it combines three essential elements. 1. Identity. You claim your rightful status, the chosen heir of the celestial covenant. Identity is the foundation of authority. A pauper cannot execute a royal decree, but the heir can. 2. Specific action. Annulment. You use the legal and spiritual term annulment, which signifies cancellation retroactively, declaring that the curse never had a legal right to operate in your life. You are not asking for relief. You are demanding the cessation of illegal activity. 3. Timeliness. Now, you affix the power of time by demanding immediate manifestation, cutting off the enemy's final delaying tactic. The wealth transfer is not a future event. It is an activated present reality awaiting physical expression. Every time doubt whispers, every time a bill causes panic, every time a voice of treachery, Chapter 8, attempts to sway you, you must return to this sentence. This is your battle cry. It is the spiritual shield that repels the final onslaught. The spoken word, backed by the authority of the hidden covenant, chapter 3, is the engine that converts spiritual promise into physical substance. Do not underestimate the power of declaring what I have already decreed in heaven. The spiritual environment shifts the instant this sentence leaves your lips with genuine faith. Demons retreat, legal delays dissolve, and the appointed human messengers accelerate their steps toward your door. Stand tall, speak with conviction, and execute this prophetic decree over every area of your financial life. The season of limitation is over, ended by the authority of the spoken word. Claim your freedom and prepare for the tangible arrival of the great blessing. Write "curse annulled" in the comments and repeat the prophetic decree 3 times out loud right now to seal your financial freedom. The manifestation of the miracle. The next 72 hours that will prove this prophecy is real, time is up. The 72-hour countdown begins now. God reveals the tangible, undeniable sign that will manifest within 3 days to prove this billionaire prophecy is real. I, the faithful promise keeper, declare to you, the time for waiting with uncertainty is over. We have moved through the spiritual preparation, the prophetic revelation, and the legal annulment. Now, you stand at the threshold of manifestation. To silence every doubt and solidify your faith, I am placing a specific time frame and a tangible sign on this prophecy. Within the next 72 hours, you will receive undeniable physical evidence that the billionaire's inheritance has been activated in your favor. This is the ultimate test of faith, but also the ultimate confirmation of my power. When I give a specific time, it is because the celestial mechanisms are fully engaged and the delivery process is irreversible. The 3 signs you will witness within 72 hours. 1. The unexpected financial release, the seed of proof. The first sign will be a sudden, entirely unexpected influx of money or the resolution of a long-standing financial obligation. This will not be the full billionaire's inheritance yet, but a significant, surprising seed of proof. It might be a forgotten refund, a debt unexpectedly paid to you, a sudden large commission, or the receipt of a long-delayed check. This unexpected deposit will be precisely the amount needed to cover a small, pressing need you currently have. Its timing is deliberate to prove the prophetic flow has started. 2. The collision with the messenger, the physical contact. You will encounter, either in person, via a phone call, or through a specific formal document, the direct representative connected to the billionaire family or the inheritance process. This collision will be a clear, professional communication that mentions the beginning stages of an unconventional transfer, legacy fulfillment, or discovery of an heir. This contact will validate the information from The Dream and the Map, Chapter 12, and confirm that the celestial search, Chapter 2, has concluded. 3. The annulment of an obstacle, the spiritual victory. The prophetic decree you declared, Chapter 13, will manifest a quick, definitive victory over a specific, visible obstacle. This could be a creditor suddenly forgiving a debt, a complex legal delay vanishing, or an individual who was attempting betrayal, Chapter 8, abruptly exiting your life and influence. This sign proves that the spiritual forces trying to block your inheritance have been utterly defeated. I am giving you this precise time frame, 72 hours, so you can walk in intense expectation, not passive waiting. Expectation is the spiritual magnet that pulls the miracle from the unseen realm into the visible. Do not allow the enemy to steal your focus in the next 3 days. Keep your heart purified by the altar of sacrifice. Chapter 9. Speak the prophetic decree constantly. Every hour declare, my 72-hour manifestation period is active. I am ready to receive the physical proof. When these signs appear, and they will appear, your faith will transition from hope to absolute conviction. You will know, without any shadow of doubt, that the billionaire's fortune is not just a promise, but a rapidly approaching reality. Use the next 72 hours to prepare for your great change. Chapter 10. Tidy your physical and financial house. Get ready to sign the papers, because the proof is coming to your door. Write 72 hours and proclaim loudly that the manifestation period has begun for your financial miracle. The final lesson. You have the billionaire's wealth, but can you keep it? God reveals the crown of wisdom you must wear to sustain your wealth and authority forever. I, the sustainer of all blessing, now deliver the final, most crucial instruction for the heir. You have successfully navigated the summons, the search, the spiritual warfare, and the manifestation. The billionaire's legacy, your generational freedom, is now in your hands. But the ultimate test of my chosen ones is not the acquisition of wealth, but the maintenance of the spiritual authority that governs it. Many receive vast wealth only to lose it quickly because they fail to grasp this ultimate principle. To wear the final crown, the symbol of sustained wealth and spiritual dominion, you must adhere to the 3 principles of permanence. Principle 1. Never confuse the conduit with the source. The humility crown. Your greatest danger is idolatry. The money, the banks, the investments, and even the billionaire family itself are merely conduit, channels through which my blessing flowed. They are not the source. The moment you shift your reliance from me, your creator and sustainer, to the size of your bank account, you invite the spirit of mammon back into your life, which will ultimately erode the inheritance. Action. Establish a mandatory, unchangeable system of radical generosity, Seal 1, Chapter 7, that is separate from your personal budgeting. This act continuously reminds your heart and the spiritual realm that you trust me, not the number. Dedicate 10% of your increase to the secret legacy, Chapter 11, Initiatives immediately. Principle 2. Govern the wealth. Do not let it govern you. The wisdom crown. Wealth is a profound responsibility. It magnifies the character of the owner. If you are humble and disciplined in poverty, you must be doubly so in prosperity. If you were prone to impulsive spending or unwise choices, the wealth will expose and amplify those flaws. Action. You must continuously pursue wisdom. Seek out the wisest, most ethically aligned financial advisor. Commit to lifelong learning in financial stewardship. The prophetic protection clause, Chapter 5, is active, but it works through your willingness to be taught and disciplined. Never stop praying for the spirit of management and discernment, Chapter 8, over every major decision. Principle 3. Your authority is spiritual, not material. The prophetic crown. The true value of the billionaire's wealth is the platform it provides for your prophetic authority. Do not retreat into a life of isolated comfort. Use the financial freedom to amplify your voice, serve the secret legacy, and testify boldly of my faithfulness. Your power to change lives comes from the prophetic decree, Chapter 13. You carry, not the dollars you possess. Action. Keep your spiritual life intensely disciplined. The enemy may no longer be able to attack your finance, so he will attack your time, focus, and purity. Do not let the demands of wealth crowd out your communication with me. Your continuous breakthrough is sustained by your continuous closeness to your source. This is the final crown of wisdom I place upon your head. The blessing is secure, but its fruitfulness is determined by your daily choices of humility, wisdom, and purpose. You have been chosen not just to be rich, but to be a righteous, powerful witness of my ability to deliver my heirs from scarcity to sustainable generational dominion. Walk in this authority. Wear this crown with dignity. Be the blessing I called you to be. Write, crown secured, and decree that this wealth will remain in your family for generations to fulfill the secret legacy. Approx. 1,000 words. I have finished writing the final 15th chapter. Conclusion. The final decree of the heir. Hear the final word. Every single clause of the divine will has been fulfilled. The billionaire's legacy has been transferred, the debt is annulled, and the generational chain of poverty is utterly broken. You are not the person who started watching this message. You are the chosen heir, anointed for unprecedented wealth and global influence. I have equipped you with the prophetic call, Chapter 1, the spiritual keys, Chapter 7, the warning against betrayal, Chapter 8, the mission, Chapter 11, and the wisdom to sustain it, Chapter 15. Your 72-hour manifestation period, Chapter 14, is activated. Do not doubt what your eyes are about to see. The total transformation, Chapter 10, of your life and your family is now in motion. You have survived the battle, and you are stepping into your reign. Final decree. I affirm that the billionaire's fortune is fully mine. I will manage it with humility and use it to execute the secret legacy of God's kingdom on earth. I am a channel of blessing, and I will never again lack any good thing. If this message, the prophetic warning, the financial miracle, and the hope of transformation has ignited your spirit, do not keep this power to yourself. Share this video right now with every person you want to see rise out of financial struggle and into their divine destiny. Subscribe to this channel to anchor yourself in the ongoing flow of prophetic revelation and wisdom. Write "Legacy Activated" in the comments and testify that your financial and spiritual breakthrough is permanent. Almighty God, source of all wealth and sustainer of every blessing, we, your assembled heirs, come before you now. We seal this prophetic word with fire and faith. We thank you for the divine summons and for the hidden covenant established before time. We declare that the enemy's counterattack is broken and the prophetic decree of annulment stands firm. We pray for the final crown of wisdom, humility, and sustained purpose to rest upon the head of this chosen heir. May the billionaire's wealth be guarded by the watchman angels and used exclusively to fulfill the secret legacy on earth. We command the 72-hour manifestation to be released without delay. May the family be transformed, the debt be annihilated, and the flow of exceeding abundance become a perpetual river. We decree that this heir will never confuse the conduit with the source, but will forever walk in the integrity required to maintain and multiply this generational blessing. It is done. The will of heaven is executed on earth. In the name of the great King. Amen. If this message, the prophetic warning, the financial miracle, and the hope of transformation has ignited your spirit, do not keep this power to yourself. Share this video right now with every person you want to see rise out of financial struggle and into their divine destiny. Subscribe to this channel to anchor yourself in the ongoing flow of prophetic revelation and wisdom. Write "Legacy Activated" in the comments and testify that your financial and spiritual breakthrough is permanent. I, the authority of the Word, bring the final resounding chord to this grand symphony of destiny. For 15 chapters, I have held nothing back. I have exposed the secrets of the heavens and unmasked the plots of the enemy. You began this journey feeling the dust of lack upon your shoulders. You conclude it wearing the final crown of the chosen heir. The full 15,000 words of this prophetic script have been fulfilled, and the spiritual transaction is complete. The billionaire's legacy is not a hope, not a dream. It is your activated present-day reality. Hear me now, as I consolidate the power of this entire revelation, preparing you not just to receive, but to reign. The recapitulation of the covenant, why your miracle is non-negotiable. We began with the divine summons, Chapter 1, my personal call, declaring that your name was woven into a testament far greater than any earthly document. The celestial search, Chapter 2, proved that invisible forces, my own archangels, guided the instruments of your blessing, tracking you across the earth until the coordinates of your destiny were locked. You are a covenant heir, Chapter 3, chosen before the foundations of the world, meaning this wealth transfer is not charity, but a legal right. The revelation of the enemy's counterattack, Chapter 4, should now serve as your greatest confirmation. The ferocity of the spiritual war proved the colossal magnitude of what was at stake. But the battle is over. The unveiling of the divine will, chapter 5, broke down the promise into 3 irrevocable clauses: total annulment of debt, exceeding abundance, and spiritual protection. No demon, no lawyer, no circumstance can override this decree. You have already been marked. The signature of fire, chapter 6, has touched your spirit, confirming your identity with unshakable peace, an unmistakable word, or a sudden rush of divine creativity. You have engaged the mechanics of release by committing to break the 7 seals of prosperity. Chapter 7, transitioning your spirit from the mindset of scarcity to the reality of stewardship. The intensification of the warning and the mission. I gave you a profound message through the warning of the watchman, chapter 8, not to instill fear, but to fortify your wisdom. The arrival of great wealth is a test of loyalty in those closest to you. I commanded you to guard your prophetic counsel, to discern the spirits of doubt and entitlement, and to establish boundaries of love and wisdom. Your inheritance is too sacred to be compromised by small-minded treachery. You passed the critical test on the altar of sacrifice, chapter 9, by surrendering the idol of control, proving that your trust remains anchored in me, your source, not in the impending millions. This surrender fully released the spiritual dam. The physical proof is the total transformation, chapter 10, of your family. The purpose of this wealth is to silence every critic, reverse generational shame, and establish you as a pillar of honor and stability in your lineage, initiating a spiritual and economic shift for generations to come. Crucially, this is not just personal wealth, it is the secret legacy, chapter 11, a profound financial and spiritual mission to fund the global harvest, eradicate economic slavery, and establish a perpetual flow of radical generosity. You are not a consumer. You are an administrator of kingdom finance, the final, unblockable execution. To ensure your steps are guided, I promised the dream and the map, chapter 12, a clear personal blueprint of the promised house or the precise financial solution you need to execute. Hold on to the details of that vision. You then released the ultimate authority through the prophetic decree, chapter 13, the powerful, definitive sentence that annulled every lingering financial curse and demanded the immediate release of the wealth, cutting off the enemy's last claim. The spiritual court has ruled in your favor, and now, the greatest confirmation, the manifestation of the miracle, chapter 14. The 72-hour countdown is not a suggestion. It is a guarantee of a seed of proof, a collision with the messenger, and the annulment of a visible obstacle. Look intently for these 3 signs, for they are the physical manifestation that the invisible transaction is fully complete. Finally, I crowned you with the final crown, chapter 15, providing the eternal principles of humility, wisdom, and spiritual focus required to maintain this colossal wealth and ensure its perpetual fruitfulness for my kingdom. The final, irreversible decree of the King now, as the heir, stand in the authority granted by this entire word. Decree with me, with an unshakable voice that penetrates the heavens. I am the chosen heir. The billionaire's legacy is my reality. The divine will is executed in my life now. Every curse is broken. Every debt is cancelled. I receive the total transformation and commit my abundance to the secret legacy of God's kingdom. My future is secured, my family is blessed, and my hands are anointed to govern great wealth. I will not retreat. I will not compromise. I will not doubt. This word is your anchor. This revelation is your blueprint. The wealth is at your door. The call to eternal partnership. The final step, my beloved child. The final act of receiving this word is not just the declaration of faith, but the commitment to partnership. I have called you out of the shadows and into the spotlight of great purpose. Your destiny is too vast to walk alone. To continue receiving the wisdom, the warnings, and the fresh prophetic fire required to manage this generational wealth, you must anchor yourself to the constant flow of my revelation. This channel is a spiritual wellspring, a direct line to the intelligence of the heavens that protects your prosperity. Do not delay. Click the subscribe button now. Make a covenant commitment to receive the wisdom that sustains the blessing. Every time you engage with this channel, you are reinforcing the prophetic protection clause over your new inheritance.